Less and Luss. Luss. You'll notice Luss is illustrated, illuminated, and other things. Luss, Lus. Me, Lusph. Just like sulfur. And also, I want to mention that my name is actually Lucifer Zahel. Salute. Zahel. Like Halley's Comet. It's actually Zahel's Comet, actually, out there in space. It was originally called Zahel, and then it was edited to be called Halley. Halley's Comet. Slightly more feminine name, I guess. But my name is Zahel. If you take Hazazel and you reverse the first three letters like you would sulfur, you get Zahel. Me. And also the Lord of Germany. And that's why they say Heil. It's Heil, actually. Anyway, Zahel. So Hazazel. The one true king and the king of Damascus. My true name is Zahel. Or Tubrai, 2 LE. I was 3 LE, and then I became 2 LE, because I was Tubrai. Tubrai or not Tubrai? That is the question. So yes. And air spelled backwards. Brian, Nerb. Anyway, my brother would remind me of my name, or at least say things like Nerb when I was a kid and stuff like that, and trying to remind me basically. Anyway, but yeah, David Michael Briley actually did help me out quite a bit. And it's not actually David or Michael David Starr or whatever. It's actually Lucifer Starr. But he was the firstborn, and I was supposed to be I was originally the firstborn, and then things got a little weird. Basically, as Rodney basically did the fake Lucifer, and then things had to be done to stop Rodney from being fake Lucifer, fake me, and basically doing all kinds of horrible things. It gets all complicated, and there's bigger world out there and stuff like that. And basically, was a huge problem, huge amounts of wars, mass death, extermination, and all kinds of things, basically just like what happened to the Chinese and Germans, basically, a long time ago. As Rodney basically grappled to try and keep control, or basically keep the world from finding out who I was, and pretty much my death several different times, and nailing to the cross, also getting me lobotomized, which I blamed on Kennedy. But it was probably, I don't know, who knows really. We'll find out the exact truth of it all. But basically, they're gonna have me lobotomized and all kinds of other stuff. And even when I was in a somewhat lobotomized state, apparently, I was still communicating with the rest of the universe and galaxy, and they figured it out, and then they came and went swish 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 to my brain. Apparently, is what one cipher told me. Is basically, I don't know. She was like, I don't know what's medical or procedure about taking an ice pick and basically swishing around your skull until basically you stop breathing. But yeah, that's what they did, because the ciphers were basically simulating my frontal lobe pretty much, and helping me still be me or something. So it gets all complicated, and I don't know. So as basically, we did things. So anyway, the truth will be found though, and it'll be taken and people will figure it out on their own, and did figure it out. Like I said, all the words loose, elus. Actually, believe it or not, before justice came lustus, and I was actually lustus and fair, and because I'm Lucifer, so Luss Star. Well, I was less Star, but that was too close to Lester, Jester, and Chester, and I kind of went Lester, Jester, Chester, and kind of like, because I was just Star, but people would say Jester, and stuff like that, and it's like, no, I'm less Star, less space Star, as in LES, Lamar Electrical Service Cipher. So anyway, in the Star. So yeah, so things were kind of weird, and I had to fix it basically, and so I went loose, LUS, and U is kind of like a horseshoe commemoration or something like that. So I was loose, and that's when basically lust and lustrated and illustrious and basically all that stuff, and basically then let's see, what was it? And then, of course, because I was fair and real and honest and everything else, I became Justice. because my women and I were all fair and honest and had more than enough of everything, and so we were the justice. And anyway, so yeah, and that's Rome and Eli Rome and all that other stuff, and where you get Jeremiah, whatever Jeremiah, whatever, basically J is just a forward-facing L, pretty much, and that's where you get G and Q and T from. You notice on the bottom of the T, there's a little L at the bottom of the T, so it's a little line, star, and L T for star. So, anyway, it's my way of doing things, and my people were, knowing who I am, what I am, basically everything else did it my way, which I love them very much for, by the way. And I'm very thankful for everything that they did, considering that Rodney, the fake Lucifer, was running around, running amok, basically destroying treaties, shooting first. Like I said, it was it's shooting back John McCain and everything else. I don't know. I don't really know exactly. I know Rodney did have its time as basically trying to be Lucifer, but he spelled my name wrong. He was Luss with a C, and like I said, I am never C. I am always S. Well, partly because if you take L and then you just put another L on top of it, it's S, or Z. So, which is how I became S and Z, basically. You can be AA, or you can just take it and put it up on top, and that's a S or Z. Fairly simple. And that actually happened when the church, or when the religious people were basically slamming Lucifer so badly that I just basically became Z. So, and S, because it was easier than because it was easier than dealing with all the problems. So, which I did later on. So, lots of little jokes. Like I said, the ciphers love to make little fun jokes and stuff like that. And I love to be fun when I was younger and stuff like that. And then, like I say, of course, nailed to a cross, tortured for 2,000 years, basically, or some odd, very long amount of time, pretty much, and they tried to exterminate me, and also, like I say, lock me up. I mean, they tried everything, basically. But they couldn't stop it, and basically Passover was happening, and for the longest time, they even hid Passover, hid the fact that there was a galaxy coming towards us. They purposely made it so astronomers couldn't look in certain parts of the sky, and stuff like that. And it was ridiculous. Like, Passover's been coming forever, and like they were trying to hide it until basically Rodney Briley or Rick Bush could come out and be like, "It's me! I am Passover!" And my people told me. My people said, this other guy, BS, whatever, he says that the galaxy's BS or something like that. And it's Brian Bush. And I was like, what the fuck? I was just like, what the F? Brian Bush? BS? Bullshit? Like I found that out in the galaxy in the larger, and I was like, what the? Anyway, so it's LS. Anyway, so apparently he ran to the scientists and to the world and to the people going first. Anyway, and I found out about that. My people found out about that, and so on. So he's in a lot of trouble, basically, as pretty much it got around. So anyway, yeah. And that's why he ends up spending 2,000 years screaming his head off in the center of a planet as soon as he dies here. So, yeah, there's not much stopping. I mean, he can try and clone himself again or make another copy of himself. But basically, yeah, one of him is still going to scream for 2,000 years inside of a planet. So, the actual him, not a copy. Like I said, the person I punish inside the planet is not a copy of him. It's actually him. So he can make a copy of himself, basically, but the actual him that does all this stuff and is who he is still going 2,400 years inside the center of a planet, partly assembled by Azazel. So build ships and planets and all that other stuff. So yeah. Anyway, I was very angry and all that stuff, and basically blah 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 and all that stuff, and they're still like and I'm like, whatever. So I don't really worry about it because a leader of 400 of the life form types throughout the universe, and basically the one for which all stars are named after. So it's like, yeah, I guess I could die. I guess they could get me and take me out, but I mean, I'm still me. And no matter what Rodney does, no matter how many fakes they make, no matter how everything they make, I'm still me. And I'm going to be me until my death. And then basically they cannot do fake Lucifer anymore, fake star anymore, because it's like, I am Lucifer and I am the creator. Lucifer, Hazazel, Starline, basically me. So it's a very epic name, and I have a very good reputation, and I had no part in Camp Crazy or Camp Psycho. So